We are live. Hi, it's Ginny with DS Tech and Aaron.
Hello.
And Tim.
Hello.
We're going to talk to these smart guys about cyber insurance. And it's a huge topic, so we're only going to cover this one question. Is cyber insurance worth it? I'm not even looking in that right. I'm looking at the screen instead of the camera. Anyway, so make sure you go to our website, dstech.net, and grab our newsletter so that you get news. Sometimes I send out alerts too, like on what's happening if there's some kind of ransomware that's going out or whatever. And then I'll tell you at the end of the video what you can email security@dstech.net for. So, is cyber insurance worth it? What do you think?
I'm a little biased because obviously I work in the tech industry and I see how everything's connected.
We're all a little biased.
And in today's world, it is worth it. If you're a business operating with lots of computers, lots of things out there, it's something that is nice to have because eventually it's going to be required.
You know what? We kind of talked about it before we went live a little bit, but compare it to auto insurance.
Right? Is your car insurance worth it? Is your health insurance worth it? It's just kind of the same question as, well, when you have the accident, you'll be really glad you have that auto insurance. Or if you end up in the hospital, with a disease like cancer or something that takes a lot of money and funds, you'll be glad you have the insurance. So the same thing, it's with your business. You don't want to wait until you're all of a sudden under the water and now you're trying to claw your way back up. You're going to want the insurance in place where if something were to happen, you're covered and you're already ready to go and deal with the situation.
Okay, then the next question somebody will ask is, well, how often does that happen?
Yeah, I guess my answer to that, or my answer to a business owner or a stakeholder would be, let's talk about what's mission critical for your business. What is it that you absolutely have to have in order to do what you're doing each and every day. And if that has anything to do with data or network or IT infrastructure or sharing of data, the reliance on our digital realm, the Internet of Things, I would then start to lead that conversation towards let's make sure that those pieces are going to be 100% secure and managed correctly, insured over time, so that mission critical operations can be maintained day to day.
So can you run without your technology?
So, an automotive shop of 20 employees is going to operate way different than a bank or a hospital or municipality where they have hundreds of employees and way more information on retention. So it's going to vary depending on person. If you're a person at home and you have one vehicle, your insurance policy is going to vary versus someone who has a house, 2 boats, a vehicle, a truck, all that stuff. It just depends on the size of your business, what you're going to need for your plan, just like how many assets you have and how you're insuring it. That's how I kind of look at that.
Yeah, and it scales. It scales tremendously. As Tim had mentioned, this asset conversation is, it's when you go from a mechanic shop, 5, 6, 7 employees to a multi-branch credit union or manufacturer facility that's got multiple shifts. The cyber insurance, the asset value of your data is considerable, and to not treat it as such would be very foolish in my opinion, in our opinion. And we're going to have to see, or we're going to see a reframing or a reshaping of how we talk about these conversations in general as well. So
we've witnessed businesses brought to their knees by being infected with ransomware or whatever, right?
Yep.
Where their businesses had to be shut down for days, if
without
not weeks.
And without insurance, they're liable for everything.
Yeah.
All
Right.
the cost to restore, all the cost and labor to try to fix it, try to get the customer data back, the follow-up after the fact to make sure the data is not leaked on the internet, all that stuff is going to be all covered by the cost of that business, where insurance offsets a lot of that. That's the main goal of the cyber insurance is for liability. It kind of protects you, and your liability is the biggest reason most places will go with that.
Or as a customer, if you know that that business has been compromised,
Yep.
you're worried about your data.
Yep.
Mhm.
What if I just decided, well,
No.
you know,
Well,
you let my data go, you let it out there,
No.
so it's your responsibility, right?
Yep, that helps you with lawsuits, legal fees.
So-
It depends on the plan, but
I'll make a pretty valid point to that nature. Trust. We talk about trust in the industry quite a bit. On the data side, there's a zero trust mechanism where we don't want to give out admin or credentials to XYZ people because we just want to maintain that. But also on the business end of it or the operational end of it, there's a trust element, and that has to do with who your vendors are, who you choose as your third-party providers or service providers, the people you let in and out the door, the people that are going to help recommend things to you, the resources you rely on day in, day out for your operations. And choosing a vendor that has a high level of trust is going to increase your ability to perform and provide that workspace for your employees. What we're also going to see, I believe, over time is this trust factor from a business perspective, really kind of separating out the companies like DS Tech from some of the others who have may provide similar services but on a different platform. And this all again ties back to insurance. So if you're going to ask yourself, is it worth it? You're going to have to ask yourself a couple of questions. What am I insuring? Is that important? Is my data important? And then who am I trusting to advise, to help me with these questions, to maybe even guide where we put our value, our resources, who our trusted partner is.
Does your partner know what's compliant too?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because there already are some compliancy laws out there.
Yes, very much.
And even to be insured, you have to be in compliance before, you have to have all those things in place. And
if your vehicle's a rusted piece of junk and it's missing its tail lights and it's not having anything, it's not functioning well, that insurance company's not going to insure that vehicle. Same thing if your business is operating with no security, everyone has admin, all these technical flaws, an insurance company is not going to cover you because you're just too much of a liability right out the gate. So you're going to want to make sure you button up, you're compliant how you are before you even approach the insurance, so that way that it'll just be more seamless and easier.
Or your insurance is just higher.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you're a
otherwise
higher
just pay
risk.
more money if you're not following the rules.
Right.
That same thing. If you have a good driving record, you're going to pay less than someone who gets all these speeding tickets. So if your accounts are compromised 10 times, the insurance is going to see that and be like, well, you're going to be more of a risk than someone who's been really good and their stuff is more secure.
Yeah, and in past episodes, we've talked a little bit about some of the things you need to have in place. I remember with Dave and you, I think we went through a checklist, that insurance companies will provide and that DS Tech has.
Yeah, there are a handful of tools that you can be proactive and do ahead of time. We offer dark web scans would be a great way to identify if your business name or your emails or things like that are maybe compromised on the dark web, and that's free. Anybody can get a dark web scan.
Is that part of our security assessment?
Yeah, I do believe so. Yep, we would happily do that.
Guess what? Email security@dstech.net. That's how you can get a free security assessment.
And then if you want to take it a step further and have something a little more physical to chew on, we do offer pen tests, penetration tests. These are your professional grade, high level penetration tests, and they will uncover all the dirty little secrets if there are any within that. What the penetration test does is it mimics a hack. So it would mimic an employee who may have clicked on a link, who installed some bots, things like that, that would then, infect the system. So it gives you that data of what a real world hack would look like. And then with that data, we can extrapolate some better best practices and help the business, be a little more safeguarded. But that information is also very important to correlate with the insurances to bridge our conversation here, is the insurance companies really like to look at that types of
So
data.
it finds the holes, right? Finds the
Finds
holes.
the
Correct.
easiest point of entry, this is what they use to be able to access the data. So if we button up that hole, we can
Yep.
prevent it in the future.
Mhm.
Like he said, it just simulates, what if your accounts payable gets an email that says, your account's overdue, click this to get your latest invoice, and it was a hack and they clicked it. You know what I mean? What would happen? How much data are they actually going to get if, your secretary or someone does that? And you can take all that data and look through it, button it up, and then you'd be more prepared when you're talking to your insurance carriers.
To just touch upon the trust comment earlier too, is as a business, you have to understand where you rank in the spectrum of trust. If your business is compromised by, some criminal, some cyber agent, your trust value in the community is probably going to go down considerably. There's not going to be many others that are going to feel confident that they can trust, that their information is going to be safe with you. And however, on the flip side, if you have taken these measures and work diligently with your compliances, regulatory practices, and just understand situational awareness, my favorite word, just understand what's going on around you. You're going to see better results. You're going to have more enlightened conversations with your insurance providers, and it's just going to be a lot easier process. And that's where DS Tech fits in. We can help guide, shine some light on some of these questions, and then perform those pen tests and provide that hard data for you to work with. So more than happy. I think the link is right here.
Yeah, it's the email. You
Right.
email security@dstech.net. I mean, you can visit our website and sign up for our newsletter. Anyway, but if you want the free security assessment, you need to email or set up a ticket or whatever. I mean, there's other ways to do it on our website. So always
There's multiple channels to contact us.
trust no one.
Trust
right?
no one, right?
Trust no one. That's our
Okay.
outro.
Yeah.
So make it a great day. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.